Hello, everyone, and thank you all for joining our Mo Martech monthly workshop series. Today, we're going to be talking about all things copywriting and copywriting that grabs attention and stops your audience from scrolling. My name is Moni Oluide. I will be your host for these workshops. I am the owner and founder of Mo Martech, where we believe that we teach business owners how to do the marketing that people crave. So, without further ado, let's get into it. As part of this workshop, this is going to be interactive. So, I do implore you to have either a pen and pencil ready, a writing utensil, something to write with, or have a tab open with Microsoft or notes or whatever you like to write with. We will be doing exercises. I will be having you do some writing, some copywriting, some practicing some writing. So be prepared for that as we move forward. Okay, without further ado, let's jump right into it. So, quick copywriting notice. This is copywritten material. Please do not distribute this without permission. Okay, I like to start off all of my workshops with what is marketing so that we all get on the same page with how I view marketing and how I'm going to be teaching you and communicating to you moving forward. So, the definition of marketing, you can write this down if you'd like. Marketing is the communication of value to a desired audience. The three key words in this sentence are communication, value, and audience. They also happen to be the three pillars of marketing. So if you know your audience well, you understand what they value and can align that with the value that you offer as a business and communicate that effectively, you will be successful in marketing hands down. Okay. Today, obviously, we're going to be focused on the communication aspect, but we will be going through the other two as well as, again, these are pillars of marketing and foundational to marketing success. Quickly, I want to go over my methodology, my point of view, so you also understand sort of where I'm coming from with marketing. My idea of marketing is to always to attract and not chase. Too much of marketing today is about chasing. So cold calling leads, cold email, cold outreach. You don't really know these people. We just post on social media. That is the opposite of my methodology. My methodology is really about having a strong point of view, having a strong value, communicating what the audience desires and aspirationally wants, and then drawing people to you. So attracting them to you. Being able to do that is based on a foundation of very, very strong communication that connects with your audience, builds connection, and thus builds relationship. So that is the point of view that I'm always coming to with marketing. So if you deploy some of these strategies and you're like, I didn't get 1,000 clicks, that's not really the point. Okay. The point is to be where your audience is, right? And attract the right people who want to buy your product and service, attracting those people to you. So that is the methodology we're going to be using here. And all the copywriting techniques are going to be focused on doing just that. The objective that we're going to go through today. So first we're going to start with identifying your audience and being able to relate to them. So good copy should automatically have a resonance with your audience. They should say, yep, that's me. You're talking directly to me. You got me. So we have to do that first. Then we're going to go through how to grab attention with our copy. And then we're going to go through how to actually write copy that converts. So there's one thing to grab attention and they click on your headline, your topic, your ad, and then they get in there and it's not relatable, right? So part one is grabbing attention, but the part two is also writing copy that gets them to convert over and buy our products or service. So if we get through today, hopefully you'll be able to get down the copy or go through the copy strategies, techniques that will allow you to do that. Okay, so if you look at any sort of copywriting techniques or marketing writing techniques, you're gonna see that a lot of that starts with jumping straight into how to write a framework or how to write a headline or how to write a particular style of copy. I start with always the identity and personality of your audience. So before you put pen to pad or write any piece of copy, the first thing you need to do is identify who it is you're talking to, and not just typical persona base. A typical persona base would be demographics or their age or their location, things like that. No, that's not the persona I'm talking about. I'm talking about your audience's identity. How do they see themselves? And the personality. So how do they think, act, behave? Combining those two things and knowing that about your audience is key to the resonance of your copy. So we want to get into first identity. So we all have identities, right? Their identities are how we see ourselves. And we have multiple identities throughout our entire day, throughout our entire life. We evolve through identities. So identities are mother, wife, daughter, right? It can be student, graduate, member of sorority, fraternity, entrepreneur, CEO, right? The religious affiliation, hobbies. I'm a runner. I'm a gamer. Those are identities. And if you pay attention to any good marketing, so good ad copy or good commercials, they always speak to identity. They don't necessarily say it outright, but it's going to be shown through the actor or actresses, through the visuals, through the style of communication, is going to be speaking to people's identity, because that's what resonates with people. So when you think about your audience, think about the identity of the person that you're talking to. Secondarily, we want to combine that with personality type. So personality types are like characteristics or traits about how our audience thinks, feels, or acts. So these could be things like optimistic or independent or stubborn or talkative or generous. Those are things, once we combine those things with identity, it becomes powerful resonance for our audience. So things like busy business owners or energetic mothers, those sorts of things are like, oh, someone says, yep, that's me. You're talking to me. Okay. So we want to be able to identify our audience by their identity, and also combine that with a personality type, especially when we are writing. Before I move forward, I did forget to say, if you have questions, yes, please put them in the chat. What I'm going to do is during the exercises, I'll go through the chat and then I'll answer any of the questions that you guys have. All right, so identity. So going through identity, we have 5 different identity types. When you're thinking about your audience, think about if any of these resonate with your audience. So typically we have roles. For a lot of businesses, it's going to be their professional role. So lawyer, doctor, teacher, nurse, construction worker, architect, things like that. Those are good. They're a good place to start. They're very resonant. But if we can also think beyond those roles, so think about like their hobbies or interests. So pet lovers or marathon runners or gamers. So hobbies and interests. We have affiliations, so group affiliations, things based on religious, based on politic affiliations, based on group, like again, like sorority or fraternity would fall into this too as well. We have things like life's changes, so or their stage in life too as well. So that can be things like a millennial or Gen X would fall into this. Recent graduate, recent retiree. Life stages is like a new mom or new homeowner. And then we have cultural background. So cultural background is things like race, ethnicity, nationality. All of those things form a person. And we all have those throughout our entire life, right? So same thing for your audience. So think about for your audience, based on these categories, which ones would align best with who you were trying to sell to. And again, if we can combine those with the personality type of that audience, then we even so more resonate. So think about them socially. So again, this is personality type is how they think, feel, act. So are they friendly, outgoing, or are they more reserved, reflective, and quiet? Think about their mental approach. So are they more analytical? Are they more creative? or are they more process oriented? Think about them in terms of their actual behavior. So are they more a siloed worker, independent? Are they more adventurous, group thinking? Think about them also in their emotional state. So is their emotional state more optimistic, empathetic, pessimistic, stubborn? So when we combine the identity of our audience with their personality type, then we can speak to them in our copy much more effectively. So our first exercise. So make sure that you have a pen and paper handy or open up a Word doc. The first exercise is where we're going to be going through our audience's identity and their personality. And this shouldn't take very long. I just want you to take a minute and again, think through their identity type. So whether it be the role, their hobbies, their affiliation, life stages, or cultural background, and pick one. If you have two, that's awesome, but at least pick one for your audience. And then think about the personality type. So social, mental, behavior, or emotional, and pick two personality types for your audience. So, or just basic characteristics. So again, things like ambitious or energetic or intelligent or multitasking or overly stressed. Pick two for your audience. So just take 1 minute and go through that exercise. And at any point, again, any questions, just put them in the chat. Okay. So yes, this is being recorded. You'll get the recording, and the recording will come with the deck as well. So thanks for joining. And give you guys another minute. One personality type, one identity. So doctor, lawyer, Christian, mother, and two personality types to go along with it. Give you guys another 30 seconds. For my business, my identity, I think I'm targeting solopreneurs, and personality would be overwhelmed. So overwhelmed solopreneurs. Another few seconds. Okay. All right, now let's get into the meat of it. Now that we have our identity down, the next thing we need to tackle is our audience's problems and their desires. So this is a marketing principle, and if you want to write this down, yes, Christine, share them in the chat if you would like. If you guys want to share your identities and personalities types, put them in the chat. That would help everybody. So problems and desires. So this is a marketing principle, and if you want to write this down, feel more free to. People seek solutions based on need, and they buy solutions based on desires. Okay, say it one more time. People seek solutions based on need, but they buy based on desires. So we definitely need to know what the challenges and problems of our audience is, but we also need to know aspirational. What do they desire? Okay, what do they dream of? What do they value? And we have to communicate both of those things. So one example is like I need paper towels. My hands are dirty. When I clean up, I need paper towels, right? But I'm going to buy it based on my desires. So they are tough, super absorbent. They are sanitary. They don't dry my hands, right? Those are desires. Okay. So we seek solutions based on need, but we buy them based on desires. And we need to understand both and be able to communicate both. So, 4 types of problems. We need to understand our audience and the types of problems that they have. Now, can they have problems that go across categories? Of course they can, right? But we need to figure out primarily which is the primary one that we are solving for our audience. So first we have functional problems. Functional problems are very logical and practical in nature, right? I have to write, I need a pen, right? I want a hole in my wall, I need a hammer. Very practical, okay? Functional problems are also around things like simplifying tasks or automating processes or increasing productivity, something that's resource-based too as well. Then we have emotional problems. So emotional problems are all around how people feel, very straightforward. They're emotion-based, okay? So people are feeling a way and desiring to feel a different way. So I'm stressed out, I'm anxious, I'm frustrated, and I want to relieve those feelings. Then we have cognitive problems. Cognitive problems are not mental issues. Cognitive problems revolve around a knowledge gap. So something you don't know and want to learn, or a skill of some sort. So I want to learn how to bake. I want to learn how to play the piano, right? Those are cognitive problems. They're really knowledge or mental stimulation based. And then we have social problems. Social problems are around wanting to fit in or connect to something outside of ourselves. So yes, this is community, but this can also be institutions. This can also be just another person. This can be a function within my job. So social problems really about wanting to fit in, connect, belong to something outside of oneself. So the problems that our audience faces is related to one of these 4 categories. So think about the solution that you offer and think about which category primarily does it fit in. Okay, so here is a list, not an exhaustive list by any means, but a list of the types of problems based on category that your audience can have. And just take a moment, look over the list and jot down which ones, one or ones, there could definitely be multiple, align with your audience's primary problems, okay? If you don't see anything on this list, this is okay. This is to get your brain working and think, hey, something related to that or similar to that in this particular category could fit into the type of problem that my audience is dealing with, okay? So just quickly there, take a few minutes, look it over, and jot down anything that you see on this list that could relate to the problems that your audience is seeking. Another few seconds here, just look it over. All right, my audience is in the cognitive category, right? You guys are here, you want to learn something and improve in some way. If you so want to, you can definitely put the types of problems that your audience is dealing with in the chat. All right, so we have problems and then we have desires. So we want to speak to our audience's desires, okay? That's how they buy. There are also 4 categories of desires. Again, can your audience have desires that go across categories? Absolutely, 1,000%. And it's normal for them to do so. The thing that we want to be able, this is all about communication, okay? So we can't communicate a bunch of different things that gets confusing for the audience. So we do have to pick a category that we want to focus on. So practical efficiency. So again, the type of desires people want is just something that makes their life easier, right? Something practical, easy, saves me time, money, energy. It's very practical. I just need this thing, helps me out here. That's all I want. They also want emotional fulfillment. Okay. So things that make them happy or feel free or feel confident or feel secure. Oftentimes businesses mistake a practical or functional desire for an emotional one. So you think it's practical, but it's really emotional. I give the example of like a home security system, like a ring camera, right? You think it's really about making the home secure, but it's really about a feeling of a sense of security, right? I want to feel secure. So it's really an emotional a desire, not really a practical one. So if you think you have a practical one, think a little harder. It may be emotional, potentially. The other category of desire is aspirational. So the aspirational growth is all about the self. I want to self improve. I want to be better. I want to be more attractive. I want to improve my own personal status. Okay. So the aspirational growth is really about improving the self in some way. And then we have social impact. So social impact is really about the greater society. So again, this is outside of ourselves. So we want to connect with or contribute to a bigger purpose. And this can be, again, this can be institutions, this can be businesses, this can be community, this can be the environment, right? Anything that is outside of ourselves that we want to connect to or have an involvement in is to social impact. Okay. So again, we're going to go through the types of desires. So again, take just another minute or so, look over the list of types of desires. Again, not exhaustive at all, but if there's something here that aligns with the type of desires you think your audience will want to attain, write it down. Again, if it goes across category, that's totally fine. This is really about kind of just getting it down right now on paper, what you think the desires of your audience are. Another few seconds, write them down. And I think mine are for my audience: empowerment, professional growth, accomplishment, if you want to stick them in the chat, more than welcome to do. Again, anytime, any questions, anything is not clear, put it in the chat and we'll get to it. All right, so we have problems and desires. Now we are going to start writing. So here's our copywriting, okay? The first thing I'm going to have you guys do is write a problem statement, okay? Problem statement goes like this, okay? Here's the framework. So when a specific situation, I want to, we're going to insert the desired outcome so I can achieve the ultimate goal. Okay. This is in the perspective of your audience. So this is what your audience was want. They're making this statement. So we're going to go through a couple of examples and you're going to write your own. So when hosting a child's birthday party, okay, I want desired outcome, stress-free, unique cake options that accommodate dietary restrictions so I can create memorable celebrations without extra planning. Okay, so that's a bakery or a food business. Next one is an accounting example. So when specific situation is managing my freelance business, I want desired progress, simple tax preparation that minimizes my stress and potential errors so I can, ultimate goal being, focus on growing my revenue. Okay. One more example. This is a web design agency. So when specific situation is launching a small business, I want desired outcome is a professional website that reflects my brand's personality so I can, the goal being, attract customers and look credible without spending months on design. Okay, so that is the framework. So I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes. You're going to write your problem statement. When specific situation happens, I want to the desired progress so I can achieve the ultimate goal. Okay, a couple minutes, write your problem statement. Give you guys another minute on the problem statement. Hey, I like it, Christian. When getting, here's Christine's there. If you guys didn't read the chat, so when getting dressed every day, I want to love who I see in the mirror, so I can confidently show up in every space I enter. I love that. Excellent. Okay, so hope you guys have problem statements down. Okay, so that is so get us started. Lay of the land. So good job on the problem statements. Now it's time to get attention. We are going to be creating intrigue. That is my favorite way to get attention. Okay. You want to create some mystery, some intrigue, some, I didn't think about that. Or what did you mean by that? Or, oh, good question. I like that. Okay. You want to create some intrigue. So how do we do that? 4 ways to create intrigue. First way is to tease the outcome. Okay. So let's let them know, like, ooh, what can they get if they buy our product or service, So the example here is, you want to double your leads without increasing your budget. I'll show you how in 3 simple steps. So tease the outcome. The other way is to do a surprising fact or statistic. The thing about it here is to actually be bold with the statistic, right? We can't have a mundane statistic. That's boring, right? We want something that actually stands out, that is provocative. Okay, that is actually surprising. The other thing we want to do with a fact or statistic is we want the audience to see themselves in the fact or statistic. So you want someone to go like, that's me. Yep, that makes sense. I do that. Okay, so it's got to be bold, and or the audience has to relate to the statistic. So here we have over 70% of small businesses fail to convert website visitors into customers. And here's why. Okay, so that's the surprising factor statistic. The other way that we can do it is with the cliffhanger. This is a very powerful way to create intrigue that I really, really like. The thing about it is, it's good to create a cliffhanger if you already have an existing story or a personal anecdote. So one that is related to you, the business owner, or that is from your existing customers. Okay. So the example that I have here of a cliffhanger is, last year, Sarah's business was on the brink of failure. And today she's hitting record-breaking sales every month. Here's the one thing she changed, right? Cliffhanger. Now you're intrigued. You're like, I want to learn more. Okay, so I love the cliffhanger. And then the final way to create intrigue is to ask a thought-provoking question. Okay, something that makes people go, interesting. So, and it relates to them. So all of these ways to intrigue needs to also relate to your audience. So we don't want to ask a thought-provoking question that has nothing to do with our audience, right? We don't want to, this is the way to get them into purchasing our product or service. So it has to be relatable. So our thought-provoking question is, what if you can cut your work week in half and still grow your business? Okay. So think about what stands out to you as a way to create intrigue. Do you want to do it through tease the outcome, through a surprising fact or stat, with a cliffhanger, or with a thought-provoking question? Think about it. Okay, so I'm going to give some examples here just to get the brain moving, get the brain thinking of different ways to write an opener for your intrigue sentence. So tease the outcome. We could do things like, you're one headline away from creating marketing that is that converts, and here's how to write it. Okay, just you're one step away. You're so close. Here's how to get it done. Okay, how about a surprising fact? Right, on average, small businesses waste 20% of their marketing budget. Right, that's a surprising stat. Like, on average, does that relate? Do you feel like, yeah, I waste some of my marketing budget? That could be me. Even probably that. I would say probably maybe 50%, even more, like bold stat like that. Like half of your money is being wasted, right? How do we fix that? Cliffhanger. So cliffhanger be like, after spending months struggling to attract leads, I changed one thing and it transformed my business forever. Right? So change just one thing. Good thing about a cliffhanger is like, the thing about a cliffhanger is like, you need a hook of like, something happened. I did something. This is what revolutionized their business, right? Those are good cliffhangers. I love a cliffhanger. And then thought-provoking question is like, what's the one mistake small businesses make that keep them from converting leads? One mistake. Okay. All the ways to do intrigue. Okay. So think about it again. Got the juices flowing. Think about, what works for your business. What would you like to try? You want to tease the outcome? You want to do a fact, a cliffhanger, or a thought-provoking question? What do you think? And before we get to actually writing our intrigue statement, there's one more thing we need to do. We need to pique interest. Okay. We just can't leave it at the statement, because what happens is you write something intriguing and then they keep reading and they're like, oh, this doesn't apply to me, or this is boring, and we lost them. Okay, so you just can't have the intrigue statement by itself. You need to cover it or combine it with something that piques their interest. Okay, so there's three ways to pique interest. We can talk about the outcome that they get. Right, so what do they actually get? Right, so what's the positive result, the outcome that they can expect? So double your sales in 30 days without increasing ad spend, and something you actually get, or gain 1,000 engaged followers in 3 weeks. Okay, when you talk about the outcome, you want to make it as specific as possible, what they can actually get. Or you can talk about the challenge, so the struggle that they're going through. Okay, struggles grab attention. Struggles are make it relatable. Okay, when you highlight a frustration that someone's facing, it makes it feel like, oh, you get me, you understand. Okay, so an example here is struggling to get leads that actually convert to customers. That's an actual problem. Or another challenge is social media costing you hours with no results to show for it? Okay, so we combine our intrigue statement with our peak interest, and now it's like, okay, now we got them hooked. Or you can talk about the benefits. So the pervasive question of what's in it for them. Why would they bother? What do I get out of this? What's the benefit to me? Okay, so we talk about the benefit. It can be something like learn the headline formula that'll get you 5x more clicks. Or it can be something like grow your audience while spending less time creating content. So that's the benefit that you get. Okay, so we have combined the intrigue statement with the one of the ways to pique someone's interest. All right, so if you guessed it, that's what we're going to do next. We're going to write our intrigue statement. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to actually start with our audience. So go back to our very first exercise, your audience, right? So for Christine, that's going to be professionals, right, who are unfulfilled and lack confidence. Okay. Then we're going to add in our intrigue method. So pick the one that makes the most sense for you and your business, or the one that you best align with. So that's tease the outcome, surprising factor stat, the cliffhanger, or the thought-provoking question. We're going to combine that with the way to pique the interest, which is either talking about the outcome, the challenge, or the benefit. Okay, we're going to put those things together and write a compelling intrigue statement. Okay, so just to show you how the formula plays out, get you thinking again. So let's say our audience is local restaurant owners. Okay, the method we're going to use here is surprising stat. We're going to talk about the challenge, which is struggling to attract diners on weekdays. So our stat is, did you know 60% of restaurant owners struggle to attract diners on the weekdays? Right. Here's how one cafe increased foot traffic 40%. Okay. I want you to focus on the pink. If you can combine it with, this is how it's done, that's awesome. Okay. The next one. So the next example of this formula is for nonprofit leaders. Okay. This one, we're going to tease the outcome. And the outcome is doubling donor contributions. So donors are steadily declining for nonprofits. Imagine doubling your contributions in just 6 months without increasing your outreach budget. Okay. And the final example here is for fitness instructors. This is going to be a thought-provoking question, and we're going to use benefit for this one. So benefit is you want to attract more clients who stay loyal. So our intrigue statement is, what if your fitness class packages could turn first-time attendees into lifelong clients? Okay. Learn how to create irresistible class packages. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes and write your intrigue statements. And take your audience, pick your method. Don't talk about the benefit, the challenge, or the outcome, and then use that to write your statement. If you're using a surprising fact, for just this exercise, your fact doesn't have to be 1,000% correct, right? Just write a fact that you think is compelling or relates to your audience for this one, okay? Just to get the exercise down. Okay, give you guys a couple minutes, write your intrigue statement. If you want to put them in the chat, do so. If you have questions and you need help with it, put that in the chat too, and we can help. All right, give you guys another minute. Write your intrigue statements. If you got a good one, stick it in the chat. All right. You guys had some good intrigue statements there. All right. So that was a big jump. All right. The next thing I want to talk about is staying on grabbing attention for a little bit. So creating intrigue is just happens to be my favorite way of grabbing attention, but there are other ways to grab attention that I did want to highlight here. So there are 4 different ways that I think that are effective methods for actually grabbing people's attention and getting them to stop scrolling. First one is to ask questions. Hidden gem of a way to grab, not only grab attention, but also get engagement. If you ever think about like when you were just reading headlines or going through copy and someone proposed like a question to you, you answered in your head. Right? Like subconsciously, if someone asks you a question, you answer it, whether you like verbally state it or not. In your head, you always answer it. Okay. So just getting people to engage and stop and pay attention, ask a question. Okay. They will stop and they will answer it in their head. Now, whether they'll like type and actually physically respond to you is another question. But if you want to just get attention and get people to stop scrolling, ask them a question. Okay. The other way that you can grab people's attention and copy is to highlight problems. The thing about highlighting problems that works really well is that it shows empathy because it shows understanding. People go like, oh, you get me, or yep, that's me. Like I resonate with that. So highlighting problems is a good way to resonate with your audience. And if you resonate, then you can get attention. My favorite way is to speak to desires, right? People are aspirational. Sometimes people don't always respond to negative frames. They respond to aspirational frames, right? So when you position things as far as what they can get or what they aspire to or what they kind of value or dream, then it's a good way to connect with your audience. So speaking to their desires is a very effective way to grab attention. And the other one is hypothetical scenario. So the word imagine is very, very powerful in copy, right? That's also a hypothetical. So imagine, what if, would you rather, right? Present the scenario of what it could be if they take your product or service or reach their actual goals. Okay? So 4 ways that I like to use to grab attention and grade. Intrigue is my favorite, but these also work very, very effectively as well. Just to point out some examples of attention grabbers in these categories. The thing about it is it falls into kind of 2 flavors. So asking questions and highlighting problems really talks about the challenges, okay? And speaking to desires and hypothetical scenarios really speaks to their aspirations, what they want. The beauty of this is the combination of the 2 makes them powerful, okay? So combining questions or highlighting the problem with speaking to desires or hypothetical scenarios. So for example, if I take this first one, do you ever feel like there aren't enough hours in the day to market your business? What if you could cut your marketing time in half and see better results? The combination is pretty good, right? So combining the question with the hypothetical scenario, right? I answered the question almost. What about like this middle one? So small business owners struggle to find affordable ways to stand out in a crowded market. What would it feel like to have a steady stream of customers without constantly chasing them? Okay, combining the 2. Let's do this one. Writing marketing copy can feel impossible when you're wearing 10 other hats every day. If you had 1 extra hour every day to focus on growth, how would that change your business? Okay. So combining the 2 are really, really great. So it doesn't have to live in isolation, right? It doesn't have to be like, I can only ask questions is the only way to grab people's attention. No, you can combine that with asking questions and speaking to their desires. Okay. So I just wanted to point that out for you guys. So make a note. These are different ways to grab attention, but combining either these 2, which is highlighting, asking a question or highlighting the problem, with combining that with speaking to desires or hypothetical scenario will make your copy way more powerful. Just wanted to point that out. So we have their attention. Now it's time to talk about what we actually offer. Okay. So we got them to stop scrolling. We got them to pay attention to us. Now we have to talk about how we can actually help them with our products or services. Okay. So how do we talk about our solution? So there's 4 ways to pitch your solution. The first one is position it as something new. So people like something new, it's fresh, it's innovative, it's something I've never tried before. Okay. So pitching yourself is something, a fresh perspective. It's a new innovative way of doing the specific thing. It's a new technology. It's a new approach. Okay. So pitching your service is something that is new. How about pitching your solution as something that is easy? Okay, that's a very popular way of positioning your solution. It's not hard. It's simple. It's straightforward. It's easy to do. It's easy to implement. It doesn't take a lot of stress. Very low effort. Okay, that is one way to pitch your solution. Another way is that it is safe. It's a safe method. People don't like to take risk. Okay, this is marketing principle number 2. People hate taking risk. Okay? They don't want it. So as much as you can minimize the risk of your product solution, especially if they're not familiar with you, the more effective your copy will be. Okay. So making it safe means it's tried and true. It's a proven method. It is secure. It's safe. It's backed by evidence. It's backed by science. There is proof. You have a bunch of customers that have raved about it, right? You have some case studies, some testimonials. I need it to be safe. Okay. It's already been done. It's not risky. And then the final one is to make it big. Okay. So that is, and by big, we mean big outcomes or big results. Okay. So there's something that increases productivity very well, or increases their revenue very well, improves their emotion greatly. It has some outsized results. Okay. So when we are writing copy, when we're talking about our solutions, we want to make it new, easy, safe, or have big results. All right. So exercise number 4, we're going to write our pitch statement. So pitch statement formula goes like this. We're going to have our solution. So the product or service that we actually sell. Again, we're going to bring in our audience identity. And then we're going to pick our pitch method, whether that's new, easy, safe, or big. In the examples I have here on the right, the top one is the solution is personalized nutrition plans. The identity is health conscious professionals. So for the identity in our pitch formula, we not only want to use their identity, so that's their role. So entrepreneurs or moms or athletes. We also want to couple that with the personality in this one in particular, because again, that just makes it even more kind of bullseye. Will make it resonate even more. So for the identity of the person, can you add the identity as well as the personality, at least one? In this example on the top, the pitch method is going to be big. So we're going to be talking about the results that they can expect. So the pitch goes like this. Our personalized nutrition plans help health conscious professionals achieve life achieving results, transforming energy levels, weight, and overall wellness in just weeks. Okay, so that's the pitch on the first one. The bottom one, the solution is educational play kits. The identity is parents of toddlers. We could say busy parents of toddlers or educated parents of toddlers, whatever. And the method that we're going to use here is safe. So it's proven. So the pitch for this one is our educational play kits are a safe and proven way for parents to nurture their toddlers' cognitive and creative development, designed by early education experts from Harvard. Okay. So we have examples there. The top one is a big method. The bottom one is a safe method. We are going to just give you a quick formula framework here again, so to get the juices running. So the first column, it's a time management app. So the audience is overwhelmed project managers. The pitch method here is easy. So our time management app helps overwhelmed project managers effortlessly stay on top of tasks by automatically prioritizing what matters most, giving you hours back in your day. So easy, it's effortless. Middle column is a smart investment platform. So the audience here is ambitious, recent college grads. The pitch method for this one is going to be big. So we're promising kind of big outcomes. Our investment platform helps ambitious, recent college grads become millionaires by the time they retire, offering tools to secure your financial future and set up yourself for long-term success. We're promising them to be millionaires by the time they retire. That is a big promise. Okay, results based. And then finally, example here is sustainable packaging. So this is for eco-friendly business owners. The pitch method here is safe. So we're going to have some backing in there. So our sustainable packaging offers eco-friendly business owners a proven solution that reduces your environmental impact backed by the EPA. Okay. So you're going to give you guys a couple minutes, write your pitch, take your solution, your audience, identify which pitch method you prefer, whether it's new, easy, big, safe, and then write your pitch statement. Okay, a couple minutes. Have a pitch statement you like, put it in the chat. If you don't have any for the safe method in the pitch, it doesn't always have to be like science or something like that. It can be like your customers, like, it can be an actual testimonial statement. It can be your customer said XYZ. That's also a way to do safe. So I don't feel like you have to have a Harvard Business Review every time you do the safe method. You don't. Any kind of third-party validation will work. Give you guys another minute. Again, if you have a pitch statement you like, feel free to put it in the chat. If you want help with your pitch statement, let us know. We can help you through it too. All right. Another 30 seconds. All right. We're going to wait for you, Christine. Put in the chat. Hmm. Okay. All right. All right, Kristen, let's see her pitch statement. Okay. So her solution is luxury styling services. So she's a professional stylist. Her audience is aspiring, sophisticated women. Can work on that. The pitch method is big. And the pitch statement is our curated luxury styling solutions help aspiring and sophisticated women become more confident in their bodies, offering personalized consulting to ultimately shift their relationship with style. Okay. So I think my thing here is we can be bigger with the outcome. So I love becoming more confident in their bodies, right? So, but we want to get maybe a little bit more specific. It's not become, so they're going to be, you know what I mean? Like that, this is what's going to happen, right? It's not like this could possibly be a thing. It's like, you're going to be more confident, right? To reach what desire. So the aspiring sophisticated women, it's professional. So you can be confident to get the job you've always dreamed of, right? Aspiring means we're trying to get to somewhere. So what is the aspiration? Okay. And I like, so for the aspiring sophisticated women, I like that as an audience type. I wouldn't necessarily say it in the pitch. It could just be, women who aspire to have, grow in their job. You could say, you can actually describe in the pitch who that person is. So we can use descriptive language. So women who aspire to become CEOs one day, that's also totally valid, right? Become more confident in your own body, right? Or you can say like, our feeling is also good. So it's like, we can say like, feel more confident in your own body. So women who aspire to be CEOs one day, feel more confident in your body. Need some work, but you see where I'm going. Yeah, gotcha. You see more. Yep. So the more specific we can get with the outcome, like actual, like what's the aspiration, the more that's going to click. But again, Kristen, thank you for being the guinea pig for everybody. I love when people share because it helps everybody else. I know you guys are sitting there like, oh, that makes sense, right? It clicks, for everybody. Everyone thinks that theirs is, rough, but that's writing. Writing is rewriting. Okay. And we're going to get to that part too. So, but hopefully the big takeaway is you now have a formula, a structure for getting to where you ultimately want to get to, which is creating good copy that people resonate with and will buy your services based off of. Thank you, Kristen. Okay. So pitch formula. So home stretch, call to action. Oh, we have one, Dr. Dang. Do you want? Oh, Dr. Dang says plush luxury for confident plus sophisticated women. Plush luxury. I love the word luxury because you have luxury styling. I love that kind of luxury theme. Thanks, Dr. Dang. All right. Compelling call to action. So if you are sensing the theme of how we're going, so when you create email copy or advertising copy or social media copy, right? First, we want to identify our audience. We need to grab their attention first. We need to pique their interest. Then we need to sell our solutions in there, pitch our solutions. And then we have to actually get them to like say, yes, I want that. Okay. So what ways you can get to them to say like, all right, all sounds good. And yes, I want that right now. So 4 ways to write a CTA. Okay. We're going to end the days of download now, click here, buy now. No, we're never doing that again. Okay. 4 different ways to write a CTA. We're going to have an actionable next step. That's one way. So specifically, what do you get, right? Clear, action-oriented CTA. So action-oriented means verbs, adverbs, right? The doer, there's something that you're doing, they have to do. So show me my heat map, right? The specific thing that you're actually getting. Another way is to match the feeling or what they're trying to achieve, right? So Kristen's CTA could be like, again, get the wardrobe of your dreams, right? That sort of thing. Like, what are they actually trying to achieve? So in this example, is simplify my weeknight dinners. Okay. You can also, I also do like emotions and stuff like that. People buy with emotions. We know that. So when you insert a feeling word in there, that is also very, very effective. An emotional word. Like that confidence is coming up, right? For Kristen, confidence is one of the big ones. How can we infuse that into our copy? Handle the objection. This is a good one for a CTA, especially if you are have something that people deem as risky or are hesitant to try. If we can remove the objection in the call to action, that is very, very powerful. Okay, so if it's a free trial, there's no credit card required. Okay, so take away the objection right out the gate. And finally is For CTAs, make it very specific. What exactly are they going to be doing or getting, right? So if you have a product demo, how long is it going to take? Take the 2-minute tour now. Okay. So when writing a CTA, it's going to be either an actionable next step, something very, very specific as a verb in that statement. We're going to match the feeling or based on the emotion or what they actually want to achieve. We're going to remove any objections that they may have, especially if they deem our offer as risky or they're uncertain about it. Or we're going to make it very, very specific, right? By clicking on the button, what are they specifically going to get or what can they expect? So last exercise, home stretch. We're going to write our CTA, okay? And I want you to write 3 variations of your CTA. Okay, so think about your offer. What are you actually offering someone? Okay. Is it, a sample? Is it a trial? Is it the actual package offer? It can be your actual offer itself. It doesn't have to be a sample of your offer. Think about what it is you actually offer. And then write 3 variations. So write a match the feeling one, an actionable step one, a handling objective one, or make it specific. So for example, we have a free trial of a meditation app. If I was matching the feeling, CTA would be find your calm in just 10 minutes a day. So the feeling is calm. If it was actionable next step, it'd be start the free trial right now. If it were handling objection, it'd be, get 7-day trial, no credit card needed. The middle column, so the example here is we are a free consultation for business coaching. If we are matching the feeling, we would say get clarity and confidence to grow your business. Okay, that's the feeling, clarity and confidence. If it were actionable next step, it would be book a 30-minute call. If it were handling the objective, we would say, hey, there's no commitment, just actionable, tailored advice for you. If they were offering a free or downloadable social media content calendar, matching the feeling, we would say, finally, stress-free social media planning starts here. Okay, again, feeling stress-free. The actionable next step would be to download the free content calendar. The making it specific would be plan your next 30 posts in just 10 minutes. Very specific. What do they get? Okay, so making it specific is the outcome based. Okay, so take a few minutes, 3 variations of your offer. Okay, match the feeling, actionable next step, handle the objection, or make it specific. Yeah. Anybody want to put theirs in the chat? Want some help from the group? Give you guys another minute or so. If anybody wants to share, feel free. Three variations of your CTA. Another 30 seconds. Okie dokie. All right, we have reached it, everybody. Good job. You guys went through all those exercises. Congratulations. A couple of things. So before we get to the summary, writing is not easy. Okay. And writing copy is not easy. Okay. So I don't want you guys to be too hard on yourselves. The whole goal of this workshop, hopefully, and this is what I hope you took away from it, is to have a framework to get your mind working, to get pen on pad. Okay. I don't expect you to walk away from this pitch and have like immaculate copy, right? Writing is rewriting. Okay. But I hope you have something on paper that you feel strong about, that you can work and tweak and poke and prod and eventually get to something that is very, very strong for you. Okay. So you made it through and you did all the exercises. I'm proud of you. Good job. Congratulations. You're awesome. Okay. It's not easy. It's, writing is very difficult. So I'm proud of you if you got through all of it. Okay. Summary. Number one, before you write your next copy, put pen to pad. Audience identification is super, super, super important, and really good marketing focuses on the audience identity and not necessarily their persona, right? It doesn't really, listen, demographics are cool and all that stuff, but really what resonates with an audience is how they identify themselves and you being able to speak to how they identify themselves. Okay. So if you align, your business, what you sell, to their identity, that's how great marketing works. So like Nike is not selling to, they're selling to people's inner athlete. They're selling to the athlete within people, whether you play a sport or not, right? When you wear athletic gear, you feel like you're an athlete in some way. And that's what they speak to. And that's what good brands do. They speak to people's inner identity and they match that. So if you can do that, you are starting off on the right foot. Next thing, again, people seek products based on need, but they buy based on desire. So problems and challenges and obstacles are very, very important when people are seeking, but when they are buying, when they are converting, when they are deciding to purchase a product, it's all about the aspirational goals and what they actually truly desire. Okay. So being able to speak to that is going to make your copy very, very powerful. Again, writing is rewriting. These frameworks are just to give you a starting point in order to refine and rewrite and tweak and do this iteration over and over again. Okay. I do this for a living. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've rewritten my website copy 10 times. Okay. I just rewrote it. I literally just rewrote it again last week. Okay. Writing is rewriting. And the more that you learn about your audience and what they like and what they're for, that's going to help you refine that even more. Having variations of copy is also very important. So some of you guys are going to have kind of multiple audiences and multiple identities which you are speaking to. So you can be pitching to lawyers and doctors and nurses, and those are different identities, and that's totally fine, right? But when we are in community and when we are speaking to these people, we want to be able to speak to them in particular. The other thing that's important to note is sometimes with businesses, we go too broad, right? Especially when we're speaking on social platforms like, Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook. We want to go as broad as possible, but that's actually counterintuitive. We want people to resonate. We want people to go, yes, you're talking to me. Yes, that's me, right? Those are the people who are going to buy from us. So we don't need the tons of likes and clicks and followers if they're not going to buy our products or solutions. We want to focus on people who are actually going to buy from us. And that's going to take you focusing on a particular identity. Okay. So it's very important. And then we want to follow a 4-step process. You saw 4 was the theme throughout these things. Yes, I think there are 4 for a lot of those. So there are 4 problem types. There are 4 categories of desires. There are 4 ways to do a CTA. There are 4 ways to grab attention. I think that those are all legitimate. But there is also a 4-step process for creating your copy. Okay, the first thing you want to think about is grabbing attention. Okay, you have to think about how I'm going to get someone to stop and pay attention to me. Okay. Second thing you want to do is relate to your audience. Okay. That is, so when you want someone to say, once you got their attention, you want them to say, yes, that's me. You're talking to me. I identify with that. Okay. Third things you want to do is show that you understand. So some empathy, some talking to the challenge, some giving them aspirational dreams, right? Right. You get me. You want someone to say, this person understands me. They get me. Right. Fourth thing you want to do is eliminate hesitation. So the biggest reason why people don't convert is because it's either too risky or too costly or too much effort. So low risk, low cost, low barrier of entry. Okay. So we want to eliminate as much hesitation to buy your product or service as you possibly can. Okay. So grab attention, relate to our audience, show that we understand them, eliminate any hesitation. Okay, you do that, read over your copy. Does it do those 4 things? You got a good, strong copy. Okay, you're going to be way further ahead than a lot of other businesses. Okay, so I need your help. Okay, if you guys can help and support me, that would be really, really great. There are a few ways that you can do that. The first way that you can support me is just follow me and Mo Martech. So we are very, very prominent on LinkedIn. If you are on LinkedIn, can you please give us a follow there? We really, really appreciate it. Also on IG and on Facebook. So if you're on those platforms and like to give a follow, we would really, really greatly appreciate it. I share tips on all things marketing all the time on those platforms. So if you follow, that'd be awesome. Next thing you can do is join the community. So we have a community. I'm going to be doing Ask Me Anything sessions starting 2025 in January. So the community is going to get notified about that. Plus we do weekly blogs. Plus we have this free workshop series. So all the things that Mo Martech is doing, if you join the community, you will be notified on all those things. We'd love to have you. Next thing is these free workshops are going to be done every single month. So if you sign up go to the momartech.com/free workshops. We're doing this every month. If there is a topic that interests you, sign on up. We'd love to see you back here again. We're going to be doing this again in January. We're going to talk about all things social media marketing for small businesses. So I know it's the bane of many small businesses' existence. So we're going to demystify social media and we're going to make your social media platforms work for you. And then finally, I have small business workshops that I do virtually and in person. Those are 6-week cohorts. We bring you through your entire go-to-market strategy. And this wasn't set up, but Kristen has done our workshops, and she doesn't even know this yet. I literally just got this in the mail. So if you do the small business workshops, what you get is a hardcover booklet of your go-to-market strategy. So in here is all about your audience identification, all about your messaging, all about your compelling offer, how to promote your business. Everything is in here. Christina's done it. This is hers, which I literally just got in the mail today. So this is coming your way in a couple of days, Christine. I just got that. But that's what you get if you do the small business workshop. So our next cohort starts in February. If you are interested, we would love to have you. Go to momartech.com/startup workshops. So that is my spiel. I really appreciate all of your time. If there are any questions, there are 10 minutes left in the workshop. I'm happy to answer them and hang around and answer any questions you guys have. Yes, Christine. There was coming in the mail. Coming soon, sis. I'll be here hanging around in case anyone has any questions till 1:30. Thank you. So anything related to the copywriting. So again, these are frameworks. They are meant to kind of help you get started and rewrite them all. So I really, again, didn't expect anyone to walk away here being like, yes, this is the exact copy I run. If you want to say it, Christine, you can say it in the chat. That's fine. If anyone has any questions about anything, please shoot. So the recording will be sent out automatically by StreamYard. So as soon as this is over, I think it takes, an hour or two to process, and then you will get an email with the recording in it. I will most likely be sending out a separate email with kind of all of the links to as well that I mentioned. That's probably going to be Friday, Monday at the latest. I definitely want to get you guys before the holiday. And everyone sort of checks out. So StreamYard will send you an automatic email with the recording, and then I'll be sending a separate email with the links to follow me, the links to sign up for the community and the free workshops, and if you so choose, the small business workshops we'll be doing in February. So thanks, Dr. Deng. Appreciate it. The copywriting. So what I was saying about the copywriting. So yes, I wasn't expecting anyone to kind of walk away with like, this is my perfect copy. Even the best copywriters in the world will tell you, like we write and rewrite and write again, and edit a lot. And one of the secrets to copywriting is taking out words as much as we can. So if you write and say, do I need that word? Do I need the there? Do I need the us there? The more you can kind of pare down your copy and make it as short as possible while still getting your point across, you've done well. And don't let perfection get in the way of good is my other takeaway for copy. I think sometimes we get in our heads and we want to make it perfect when good enough is good enough. So especially if you're going to refine it, just get it out there, get some feedback on it. Does it resonate? Are people liking it? Are the right people liking it? I think sometimes, and this will be in the social media topic, but sometimes business owners want to do the thing that gets the most eyeballs and want to go viral and do things for engagement, but that's not the right audience who's going to buy your product or service. So why do we care? Right? Kind of got to let the ego die a little bit and not do things that just get you a bunch of engagement, but get the right people. I'd rather have 10 people who are in my target audience who I know for a fact are, people who will buy my product or service than 1,000 people who will never buy from me. Right. And that's got to be the mentality going forward. So that's the point of the copy too, as well. Right. We want to get the right people. That's way more beneficial as a business owner than going viral or getting a ton of engagement. So keep that too in mind. Okie dokie. If there are no questions, I will let you all go. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time. I know an hour and a half is a lot of time. Hopefully you found something valuable out of it. I will be sending an email, but if you want to go right now to momartech.com, free workshops, go to the workshops tab, free workshops. There are January's and February's are up, and you can sign up for those if they so interest you. And I appreciate you guys coming out. Hopefully I will see you next month on the next workshop. Bye guys. Thank you.